Do they select people from an engineering background, coding? What
I
are they looking for?
don't think they're only selecting engineering. I think it's open to non-engineering students as long as they have some sort of STEM background.
Okay, thank you.
I don't even know if it has to stick to just a STEM background either.
Well, I think for ROV engineering at least.
It does.
For the internship, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure about that.
But I think that was like a condition. Like you didn't have to study engineering, but you had to, like, math was acceptable if you studied mathematics or physics.
Well, they can go to nautiluslive.org, education, and the information's right there.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I think Trevor had the best answer. Don't
Cassie's was
disqualify
really good.
yourself. You both combined answer. Solid answer.
are
Thanks for
team
knocking
answer.
me down, Jess.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't knock you down. I just, the fact that Trevor said don't disqualify yourself.
Somebody's
agreed.
keeping score. Somebody's always keeping score.
Try to say something
To the
nice.
whiteboard.
Trevor 1, Cassie 0.
Last time I complimented any of you guys.
I feel right at home.
Is that too close to Herc?
I think so.
Too close? Yep.
You can see it so well. It must
When
be.
you see too many details, that's not a good thing. I'm going to go up to 15 or 17.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'm going up the hill.
Oh, okay.
Mountain climbing.
Mountaineering.
To the cliff.
To the cliff.
To the cliff.
That's amazing. That's really beautiful how the mapping turns out.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, is that error? That, like, whole strip of orange? Is that error?
Error.
Where at?
That orange strip, it looks like someone just...
On the bottom here? Right
That
Yeah.
The sparse
above that like
point.
brown swath. That
Oh,
just
no,
It
cuts
looks
those
like
are-
someone
those
got
are
a shovel.
The most recent.
Those are our current pings. I have it set in backscatter mode. So the backscatter color scale is different, so you can tell it apart.
Aha.
So
Cool.
let me turn off the map. These are our
Oh.
most recent pings.
Okay.
Nice.
Chris, could you tell us what backscatter means?
Yeah, backscatter, you can think of it sort of as it's the intensity of the return of the sound signal. So it's sort of analogous to like brightness in an image.
So
Right,
when
if
would
you
you have
imagine
more or
looking-
less backscatter?
So like on a hard substrate, you'll often have more backscatter, and you'll have a brighter backscatter on more orthogonal surfaces.
What is orthogonal? We got a
It's
lot of
at
big words
right,
in
At a
here.
right
right,
angle.
right angles, yeah.
Gotcha.
So if we shoot, if we shoot a beam at something at a right angle, we're going to get a stronger return than if we hit it at a very shallow angle or very close to parallel.
So that
Gotcha.
means with
Which is why it's generally brighter in the middle than it is at the edges.
Oh,
So with
yeah.
backscatter, you convolve kind of the geometry of the signal and also the nature of the substrate. So
Yeah.
it's kind of harder.
Yeah, and so one of the things that people that do backscatter stuff are interested in is sort of taking those things apart, right? So you want the angle to not be a thing that affects your measurements. So if you're interested in learning about substrate, you'd want to do some math to compensate for the angle that the beam hits the thing, so you can learn how hard the substrate is or something
Angle
like that.
of the dangle.
Oh, hi fish. I got it. I got it. There he goes.
Yeah, one. Where's Argus? Argus is way up yonder. Okay. Yeah, one's probably good. We might be able to get away with 2, but I'd rather get away with not enough than, you know.
Too much.
What do the colors indicate? They have a specific meaning?
Yeah, the
I-
colors just represent depth. Yeah.
Depth.
So in this case, redder colors are deeper and bluer colors are shallower.
Okay.
So I got a question, guys. Is this cliff we're coming to the Gorda Ridge? Anyone?
I don't believe so. I think the whole area, I think Gorda Ridge is the name of the whole spreading center in between two transform faults. So I don't think that ridge is specifically, I think the whole area you would associate with the Gorda Ridge, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Lee.
We are off the coast of Northern California and Oregon in the Pacific Ocean at Gorda Ridge, which is at the bottom of the Juan de Fuca Plate. And we are at Gorda Ridge, presently mapping the area for the geologists to have more refined, specific information to utilize in their studies. Samples have been taken of the area by scientists, and they are being studied as we speak. For more information on the subsea research, go to nautiluslive.org, expeditions, and there is a summary regarding this particular expedition with NASA subsea research.
Here comes the cliff.
Bum, bum, bum.
Lee or anyone, has anyone in here worked with comparing cryophiles to thermophiles?
No, not me, I'm afraid.
Okay.
No.
Just curious.
Sounds like a very specialized
Yeah.
comparison.
Not in this
Two
fan.
extremes.
Extremophiles.
Yeah.
There are a
We
lot
want-
of extremophiles here, aren't there?
Yes, me.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme.
Extreme
Exactly.
heat resistance.
Mm-hmm. Loving heat, attracted to heat. Lee, do you notice anything in particular about thermophiles at the vents?
This is weird. I don't need this.
Sorry, Susan, I'm not entirely sure I understand the question.
Are there some specific adaptations for thermophiles in order to live at the vents that they've
That's more
discovered? Mm-hmm.
That was like useless.
I think
for
it's
the past
more
2
so the
hours.
actual bacteria, so that's not really my field. So the actual fauna don't experience like super, super hot water. So the tube worms we're seeing and things like that, they kind of bathe themselves in what we would call the diffuse flow, which isn't overly hot, you know, it's up to 40 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
So the extremophiles are probably more so like the bacteria, and that's what Amy and Sarah on board from Wood's Whole Oceanographic Institute are looking at, to see what bacteria, microbes, and other eukaryotes might be living in that super hot fluid, which will go up to 120 degrees Celsius.
It's incredible.
Yeah, we're only 15 meters from the cliff. So I think that when Argus soars its way in, it'll be great.
Yeah, and I also found a spot probably pretty near Argus's current tether range that we could grab a quick patch test.
Nice.
Okay, great.
So
Timely.
So I don't know how well you guys can see my screen up there, but there's these like little ripply things here.
Oh, that's the Doppler no-go zone, I think.
It's near it.
You think those are
It's
real?
near it. Oh, they're definitely real. We can go down slope and grab them there. I think that's, it's on the edge of the Doppler no-go zone.
So
but
you're
I
just
think
going to pass one way and then in the opposite direction, and that is sufficient, or you want to?
one way.
We'll
I mean, once we
around it.
park Argus over it, we should be able to grab a couple
Okay.
different sort of passes.
Why is there a Doppler no-go zone?
Because of the vent fluid.
Okay,
It gives us interference in the Doppler.
right.
Okay, I'm going to keep approaching this cliff. Let me know when you have what you want in life.
It's a big question.
It is.
Yeah, we can, I mean, get as close as you feel kind of reasonably comfortable.
I'll drive right into it. I don't care.
All right, full speed ahead.
Well, no, not that. Not like that.
Oh, okay.
Bump.
Yeah, I've booped cliffs before.
Booped.
Booped.
With your snoot. Yeah.
Booped a snoot.
Booped my fair share of cliffs.
You're heading up, Trevor?
Yep.
So Chris, have you had any thoughts as to what you want to do on the completion of this line in terms of, do you want to do a 180 spin and go back over this line for some form of patch test?
we found this little ripply area here.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I'm just going to do that.
Oh, great.
That's probably good enough.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, good news.
As this cliff goes like this, I might come up another
Oh, I see.
5
Yeah, I
meters
can
or
see it on
so.
your
Do
screen.
you have
All
like
right,
a relative scale of how far back it is? Is it right along this line we were on? But was it right under us, or?
I think it's like halfway between the two lines.
So north of this line.
Yeah.
Norbit.
North of the Norb.
North
Great.
a bit.
All right, that's close enough to the cliff. I think we can call it here.
Roger, calling it.
Okay.
That's the end of that line.
And is it about like
I'm
20,
going
30,
to-
40?
It's like at a bearing from Herc of like south-southwest, or wait, hang on. Let me make sure I have mine.
If it's in between this and the next line, if you just let me know how far back it is, I'll start
Yeah.
moving there.
Losing Doppler.
All right, yeah, go ahead and back up.
Backing up.
There's Neil.
Heading down.
That's not working at all. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, it should be like northwest directly, exactly, from us, from Herc. Maybe 31, 2, 3,
Like
35,
330.
35 meters.
Okay. All right.
I'm also getting fairly close to this wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring you a little farther back.
2 beams. Get out of here with your 2 beams. Need no stinking 2
Or
beams.
Get in here with your other 2 beams.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, can you explain what you're hoping the outcome of the patch test will be?
330.
The patch test is basically, so we measured the position of the sonar relative to Hercules when we installed it, but measurements aren't perfect. So we can drive over a target that we know is the same from multiple directions, multiple altitudes, And if we adjust our offsets in software accordingly, or slightly, we can sort of... So basically, if we drive over like a rock one direction, right, and then turn around 180 degrees, drive over it the other direction,
You'll see the
Well,
differences in height.
well, we'll see basically two rocks in our returns if our
Right.
offsets aren't perfect.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to collect a data set where we do that, so I can adjust the offsets in software and determine exactly what they are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So we're going to move. I'm moving about 330. Do you need a specific heading for this action, Chris?
We'll figure that out when we get there. I think I'd like
Understood.
to maybe go... We'll go up and down the cliff for the first one.
Okay.
And then we'll... Yeah. Go up and down the cliff for the first one, then we'll do... Right.
So I'm just going to get over there, and then I'll aim it up. So we're
Yeah.
up and down for the cliff.
Yep.
You can keep coming around. There I am.
Ah, beautiful. Oh, you're a lot higher than I
Yeah,
thought.
sorry, that's my bad.
Sorry, Chris. This is going to be my final question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the dive plan and just going to chat to ISC about our next moves. Roughly how long do you reckon the patch test will take in terms of
Once we get there, let's call it 20 minutes, half hour.
20 minutes, half hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just getting... I mean, it's not back on this line anyway, isn't it? So maybe about just after 3
Yeah.
our time. will
Just
be
in time for
complete.
tea.
Just
Yep.
in time for tea and biscuits.
Mhm.
Lovely, thank you.
What do you think the biscuits are today?
What are the biscuits?
Snack of the day.
Do we have a target set, or is it just based
no,
on Chris's?
I'm waiting for Chris to have some visual. Do you,
Yeah, we're headed
do-
right at it.
Okay, well, that's good.
We're headed right at it.
How are you on your tether? I can add 10 meters again. It just
It depends where
stopping
we're
now.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to need to go further.
How much?
30 meters.
Okay, great.
There you go.
30, 40 meters we're going to need to go. Yeah.
So let's do 30. Yeah, total.
In navigation terms, can you please share what north, east, south, and west would be as far as the degrees?
North would be 0 degrees. South would be 180.
Mm-hmm.
East would be 90 and west would be 270.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed
Okay.
it.
Crushed it.
A+, gold star.
Good.
Thank you, I've practiced.
Thank you.
I would guess they're referring to my notes that I'm logging back here, because that's how I've been logging the angle of the mapping lines that we've been taking. So, yeah, just for reference.
Well, I just want those kids who are practicing with robotics to start to use the appropriate terms.
Oh, I got a good one. Hey, Ben,
Oh, no.
what's the difference between heading and bearing?
Oh.
So
Tough one.
heading is where you're, like if you're a ship, the front of the boat would be, where it's pointing is your heading,
Okay.
and where you're actually being displaced and moving along is your bearing. So for instance, Hercules, when we're doing this mapping, we'll keep a fixed heading, we'll look in the same direction, but we'll move its bearing along this kind of sawtooth zigzag pattern to capture coverage while keeping a fixed perspective of the seafloor.
Okay, thank you.
Gonna need to try harder, Trevor.
Ooh, okay.
Back to
No,
Can't
no,
trip me
or
up.
not- or not at all.
Challenging subject for Trevor.
How short is the ultra-short baseline?
It's ultra short.
Ultra.
Ultra short, which is quantitative.
You bet. I think you're right, actually. That
What?
it's quantitative.
Oh.
Ultra is a defined number
Is it really?
in this context.
Oh God, ultra is micro.
I think there's some competition between the ROV pilots, right?
I don't think so. I think there's competition between Trevor and Ben.
Sounds like Trevor and anyone.
Oh gosh.
I just like throwing ringers.
Trevor's trying to one-up everyone.
It's getting spicy.
No, I don't know. Ask me a science
that's
term, I'll
not
have no idea.
true.
I just identify who's been one-upped.
Yeah.
No, like yesterday he was saying when he was trying to retrieve something, he goes, I'm sure somebody in the lounge thinks that they can grab this better, right? You were talking about the
true.
competition between everyone as they're watching it.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't even
Trevor.
know. He's subconsciously obsessed with the competition.
It's just, well, there's competition
Cool
in
down, we're all
everything,
friends
so
here.
that would be,
We're all on the same team.
we're all naive, we think.
We're all in the same boat here.
All right.
Literally.
It's a team.
How's that cliff doing for Argus?
It's cliffy. Very tight.
Yeah.
Very close.
Why don't we come up a little bit?
All right. There.
All right, I'm going to bring us a little west then.
It's going the right way. It just
Okay.
had and the swing was still going.
Okay.
And then we came down a lot, subtle,
Oh,
like you were saying earlier.
yeah. The. Yep.
Is that a scientific term?
It's really hard to spell.
Is it,
Can you define it?
is it quantifiable?
It's in proportion to the slope. There's. and
So can someone share about the power to Hercules along the tether? And then if it did malfunction, it would rise on its own, correct?
Do you know this?
No, you
me?
got it.
All right. So those seem like two separate questions, but I'll try to answer them both.
Sure.
I'll start with the
Power.
second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hercules is slightly positively buoyant. So the big yellow foam block on top.
Bridge nav, can you put in another ship move, same bearing, 20 meters? Oh, shoot.
That's looking good. Oh, shoot. Roger.
It's telling the wrong people that.
Yeah. Yellow foam block makes Herc positively buoyant in water, which means it'll float. So if we did lose power, it would come back up to the surface all on its own. We'd winch up Argus using the power from the ship, and Herc would float up.
Yeah.
Float on up. As far as the power in the everything, okay, well, so Argus is connected to the ship with a big umbilical called the 6/8, because that's 0.68 of an inch in diameter. And inside that cable there are some fiber optic fibers. They have all the data, so all the camera feeds, all the sensor data, all the information comes up and down that with little bits of light. As well as that, there's 3 copper conductors, copper wires the whole way down, and they send somewhere around 2,500 volts, 2,500 volts down to the vehicles, where that step down to 120 volts, as you would see in your house, to run all the computers and all that kind of fun stuff. And that high voltage is also sent down through the yellow tether, the one that connects Herc and Argus, where it powers the high voltage motor, which gives hydraulic power to the thrusters on Hercules, as well as like all the other functions, the arm, the toolbox, all the rest of the fun stuff.
So
Thank
Herc
you.
is operating on 120 volts?
For all the computers and lights and stuff, yes. 120 volt switches then step down to various DC voltages as well. 12, 24,
DC voltages.
5 volts, whatever the computers need. We have,
Argus is also operating on 120 volts
that's its main base, yeah.
in base. And then so when you're sending the 2,500 volts from the ship, it just degrades?
There's transformers on all the vehicles.
The transformers are there to step down the voltage.
Exactly.
And so it receives the 2,500 volts, but it steps it down to operate the components.
Yeah, precisely.
Thanks for breaking that down.
Thank you.
We getting close?
We've never been closer.
So Herc also has some transformers. What voltage is being sent from Argus to Herc?
It's the same voltage, same high voltage, 23
500.
or whatever. It comes out of the ship at about 20. Those numbers are not quite right, but it's about 24, 25 on the ship, and 22 when it gets to Herc-ish. That changes depending on the length of the tether, the length of the 6/8, and the power supply on the ship.
So Herc has 2 transformer boxes.
Just
because
one.
Sorry, Argus has 2 transformers because it has 2 junction boxes, and then Herc has 1 wait, why do they have 2 different
Argus has
amounts?
2 phases because it takes more electrical power to run. It takes more low voltage electrical power to run Argus because the thrusters are electric.
Right, and then
Herc
Argus
only-
is hydraulic voltage, hydraulic thrusters.
Herc is hydraulic.
What would happen to Argus if it lost power?
20 meters?
Yeah, we
Well,
keep
if
going.
Argus lost power, then that means the ship would have lost
All
power.
right, I'll put another 10.
Not necessarily.
Okay, yeah, fair.
If you lose power in the 6/8, then we just recover the vehicles. We have a procedure called dead vehicle recovery. So in case of emergencies, we still have a way to safely recover them, get them on board, and fix anything that goes wrong.
So what does that entail?
Just winching in nice and slow, and then once we get them up to the surface, usually bringing the ship forward. Actually, the whole time we're coming up, we're bringing the ship forward to keep the vehicles nice and in line and not getting all tangled up amongst each other.
Right. Are you heading down?
I shouldn't be.
Now that was an amazing team answer. Well done, everyone. Well done.
Thanks.
Do I get a gold star too now, Jess?
I said team.
Mhm.
God, I
We have to
can't
split
win
the gold
anywhere.
star. You get half, I get half.
I'm never complimenting any of you guys again.
Thanks.
So just to confirm with you, Chris, so if I'm looking at your multi-beam display screen now, it's those 3 ridges. That's what we're targeting for our patch test, yeah? Okay, cool. There's our vehicle up there. That's great.
Yep. I have been. I cannot go forward more.
I can go down a little more.
Okay. What's that?
I can go down a little more.
I think we want, Chris, what altitude do we actually want when we get there? About 20 meters? 15 meters. Sure, we can go to that now.
So you're heading up or down? Down?
I'm heading down.
I'll head down too.
Down, down, down. Dive, dive, dive.
I love when you guys turn it into an action movie. It's so exciting.
I was working on another ship in March, and the captain was really excited to do ROV work.
Yeah.
And he's like, it'll be like one of those movies where they say dive, dive, dive. And
Dive,
then
dive,
he was just
dive.
saying that to us in person.
All
We're
the
like, okay,
time.
so please, when you give us permission to dive, please say that on the radio. He's like, I don't know. I don't know if I will.
Oh.
Eventually, the last dive of the cruise, he did do it. And
Oh,
everyone was
good.
so happy.
Dive, dive, dive.
Yep. Sorry, hard to hear you. Due north. Okay, I can't go north right now without the ship move, but okay. Okay, so I should come back up then. I was expecting to drop off slope a bit more, so I dropped depth, but I can come up a bit more if you want.
It's cute.
Thank you.
I have several of them.
Sorry, Chris, I didn't hear you. What you wanted there? You want me to step up, or you want me to stay this altitude? 15. Yeah. Okay. Coming up.
Jess, can you, I think, close the iris on Argus?
Nice.
It's always usually too dark.
Backing up one hair.
Yeah, maybe it's a little too dark now.
10-meter hair.
See if I can do this. Ready?
That's better.
Dr. Marsh, did you examine the hydrothermal vents in Loihi last year?
Hi, Susan. I was a bit taken aback when you said Dr. Marsh. I was like, who's that? I was part of the team on board the Nautilus last year when we were in Loihi, but I was part of the science and data management team, so I was actually working as a data logger last year.
Are these vents considerably different than in Hawaii?
Oh yeah, very different. I'm not probably the right person to tell you how geologically they're different they are. I think that was on a volcanic hotspot rather than a spreading center or a spreading ridge. But from a biological perspective, it was very different. There was no macro fauna there at all. So we were looking, and obviously the aims within the subsea expedition to actually look at the geology and the geochemistry of the vents.
That's 10 meters.
But yeah, they did look very different.
Okay, thank you.
You're going forward, so I just stay where I am at.
You can stay right there. That's good.
This beautiful eel as it bounces.
So for our audience who's interested in...
This is our north-south transect. This is going to be where we're doing that. Okay, yeah, then let's do that, please, Ben.
Come upslope?
Yeah, so
Sure.
bring it kind of
Yeah,
045 probably. Or 090. I'm not sure. How far north are we going to go there, Chris?
Is this for the beginning of the geotransect? Or we're now well positioned.
Understood. So
Sure.
090.
Yeah.
I'm moving forward now. That's fine. Sure. This is a little far, but yeah, in general. I guess we didn't really have a nav target, so it was kind of hard. It's kind of just going off the sonar, so that's fine. We're getting set up. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I can maybe bump up the speed a little bit here.
Twenty
Reasonable.
centimeters a second.
Yeah.
25 centimeters a second. That's like walking speed, right?
Fine, Chris. The fastest I was able to get anything kind of remotely stable was 0.4, so I'll probably stick with that. Not 4, that's not correct. 0.4. Stop it. 0.4. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know if I can go any faster. I'm not really limited by my vehicle speed. I'm more limited by tether slash Argus.
Should I do a 180?
Well, how far north do you want to go, Chris, from here?
Yeah, where's this relative to Herc right now?
Sure. Going 5 more meters forward. Okay.
Well, August should still be heading towards.
Yeah.
You're reversing.
Are
you?
No.
What's going on?
The ship's moving.
No, you're moving.
I'm moving.
Yeah.
I'm going to add 10 meters.
Sure. I don't think I'm reversing.
I don't think you are anymore.
I know Argus just moved a bunch north though. So we had the hits down here, and then Argus went zoop. I am too. That's fine. Now I'm going backwards.
You are?
I don't like this 0.4. I'm going to go back to 0.25. What's that? So we were here, and then now we're going to be here. So I think it's going to be just fine. Once that ship move finishes, Argus won't get there in another 5 minutes, but can't really be in a hurry for these kinds of things.
For our audience who's
Losing
interested,
some Doppler here. That was 2 beams. Now 2 beams again, 4 beams. Do you get notifications when that happens, or just looking at my screen? Okay. Is it logged? Okay. 4 beams again. Yeah, it's solid now.
for those interested, you can compare the low EHE hydrothermal vents from last year's expedition to the Gorda Ridge hydrothermal vents off the coast of California. And also we have some wonderful lesson plans at oet.org/STEM for teachers and parents. You may want to look at that so you can share those with teachers. We have a great lesson, living on a chimney. That's fantastic, along with others related to ocean science. So I encourage you to explore the site.
What do you mean turn around?
Yeah.
I follow ya. I don't know what the answer is to that.
Could he go ahead and do that right now?
Yeah, I'd rather back up instead of getting to my extent then turning around. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe I'll do that. Maintain heading. Go to the end of my tether forward. Okay, let's do that.
Should I do 180?
Sure, please. Yeah, you can go. I guess to starboard would be fine. Doesn't really matter.
So what's the plan, Chris? After you've got this line, what are you proposing to do?
You can come down on delta, down to like 12 or so.
Got it.
Okay, so you're taking this as your cross line, or? Okay.
It's like 2 opposite passes from either side, I think.
Okay.
Roger.
Fully extended. There's still some slack in
I
it.
can keep going further on my tether, but then I can't rotate. Okay, roger. I will hold this position. Let me stabilize before I spin. Can you please come up on your delta to 13
Yes.
or so? Not a huge fan of the whole spin while low delta thing. Maybe 14. We'll see how this works.
All right.
Okay, good. Thanks. And you're south. Good. Looks good.
You never see Argus in Herc's camp.
Hope not.
You'd be pointing towards me.
Yeah, that's usually trouble. You have to be looking up with a low delta.
Yeah.
That's not the desired layout.
We have a viewer who's interested in how long are interns on board for? One expedition, multiple, or the season?
So I am on for just this expedition, but we also have another intern, the nav intern, who's working through the Naval Academy, and he's going to be on
Step
2
forward.
cruises. So this is
Step
his
in.
second cruise. But usually I think, well, and Jess is also an intern.
Yeah, this is my third leg. I started at the start of the season. This is my third and last leg. But it varies based on the program
Going to the end of my tether?
and the availability of the intern.
Right. So I think I'm only on 1 leg because, you know, I have responsibilities outside of this.
And I actually made a sacrifice. I chose to skip my own
I need to come
graduation
up a bit.
ceremony to come out on this leg. If I had chosen to attend my graduation, I would have been on a different expedition that would have been 14 days instead of a month. So I chose to have the better, longer experience. But they try really hard to work with you and your schedule and availability and find something that fits both your needs and the needs of the internship.
Right. Jess, so did you have to, so you said this is your third leg
Yes.
this season?
Yes.
You got it?
Yeah, I have never been on Nautilus before. This is my first time.
There's
So did
2
you have
rocks
to
instead of
apply
1.
3 different times
But-
to be on 3 legs, or they just gave you 3 cruises?
They just gave me 3 cruises. Yeah.
Wow.
She
Guess
got
I-
3 separate internships.
Guess I did something right in my interview.
Just A, just B, and just C.
She changed her name on the form.
She changed
Did.
her name on the form.
Don't tell
multiple,
them.
multiple passports. Whoa.
You guys are giving away my secrets.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your graduation.
Thank you.
Same with you, Cassidy, as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
3.5 degree roll offset.
Yeah, I was.
I hope it's not that much. But there is a roll offset. Yeah, the beam width is so wide on this, so that a very small roll offset is very obvious.
I see. Yeah.
Like, we're talking, you know, maybe half a degree.
Oh, it's definitely that much offset, I'll tell you that.
That might be all it is. It could be maybe a degree and a half, as much as that, but I don't think it's probably much more than that.
We sent the octans out for service sort of this year, and then we remounted it, which means you just put it in a cylinder, and you put it in, and you
And
get
you
it
hope
as
for the
close as
best.
possible.
Okay, well, in that case, maybe, well, we'll see. I'll crunch the numbers after this dive, and I can...
Crunchy numbers.
So are we
Come down,
sufficiently
please.
over the patch
Come
test
down.
now in this
Yeah.
direction?
I was setting up.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to just go to the
Now
end of the
that I'm out
tether.
from underneath.
I mean, the
Oh,
more
okay.
the more I get, the better.
Great.
We'll keep going. We got way more. Way more. Doppler's a little flaky.
Yeah.
Pastry flaky.
So
Speaking
when
of that,
you
T-time.
do your processing, Chris, and you ingest the octans data into the attitude of Hercules
Should I
into
180?
your software, is it
Sure, please.
you do that in your own software?
Yes.
At
Uh,
and 15? Okay.
Yes.
At what?
15.
And then you'll
delta.
visualize it
Sure.
15
Yeah.
meter? Okay,
I'll
so I'll stop
I'll
there.
show you after the thing. It's pretty cool. You can
Yeah.
like it goes. Hey,
Hey,
Yeah.
I hope it was
Yeah.
okay. I did auto depth for this one because it was more stable. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
just-
perfectly fine. I'm happy with that.
You want to go the other way? Yep.
But Susan, just to add to that internship comment, this is a real testament to the team on Nautilus and how great the morale is here. They, on the date of my graduation, they held a graduation ceremony for me in the lounge. They played the music and
Are
we
everything.
out of tether
and-
here?
Both wraps out. We are for the next 2 minutes, 1 minute, then we'll have enough.
Okay.
Maybe the next
I mean, we have enough overlap.
15 seconds, I should say.
We have enough overlap if,
Sure, we can stop. That's fine.
yeah. Can you, all right, can you rotate downslope 90 degrees?
Maybe.
Okay.
Can I back up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, then yes. Absolutely.
Do what you need to do to make that happen.
Okay.
But yeah, if anyone's interested in joining, definitely it is a great team to join because they really
Downslope
care about
90?
the people.
Downslope 90, yep.
Absolutely.
Pardon me? Cool. All right, heading of 629.
Yep. All right, head down till you run out of tether.
Okay, I'm not even close to Argus, so I'm gonna run out of tether in a hurry.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Because I went to the extent of my tether south, right?
Right, okay. Well, yeah, you can, all right, you can maybe go or directly, like, due west of Argus, then? Just kind of head over that way?
Meaning at an angle, or you want me to step up? and
Yeah,
step
you can go at an angle. That'll be fine. That'll give me a little more information than if you just step over and go down.
Understood. Stepping starboard and forward.
Yeah.
10 meters both directions. We'll see what happens.
Calm down.
Yikes. I'm still staying at a constant depth. So if you need me to come down, Chris, let me know.
Yeah. Why don't you try to follow the slope? Well, no, actually, this is great. This will constrain some of my depth things too. So, or some of my range stuff. So.
My Doppler's dropping out, so I didn't want to use auto altitude if at all possible.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. This is actually good to have our depth or our range to the bottom vary. So.
Okay. All right, I've gone 10 meters starboard and forward, doing another 10 meters.
Yep.
Chill. A compass?
I've got you in down cam.
Yes.
There you are.
Here I are.
Here I are.
That's about 25 meters each way. I'll set it up to 30. Look at that 45-degree action. That's cool.
Yep. It's working pretty nicely.
31 meters elevation, altitude.
Okay, you can probably
Come down.
turn around. Well, no, you can probably turn around and head upslope again.
Okay,
So, like-
directly due east.
Yeah, due east will work.
Sounds good. I'm just gonna go No, I'll do it right. Okay, this move's almost complete. Might as well finish this move and then do it. Okay, I'm gonna start turning around.
Great.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm being pulled.
I'm gonna need to do a quick step to the east before I can turn more.
That's fine.
I'm gonna take some gauge readings.
Okay, Chris, we're looking good. I'm gonna start stepping east.
Great. Okay, I think after this, we should have enough. So just kind of go and keep your altitude until we run out of tether or get too close to the hillside.
Confirming keep altitude, don't keep depth.
Oh, sorry, yes, keep depth.
Roger, keeping depth.
Yep, keeping depth.
Hello, Herc. Should I go up on the delta? Nah. Yes, no, I'm sorry. Cancels out. That's how math works, right?
Yeah, so apparently you should have a new waypoint in HiPAC called waypoint 3. So let me just have a look with you. Yeah, that one. We'll be quite far away from where we are now. So in the original dive plan, we were going to go off to a waypoint called GT1, and we were going to blue water to there. But we've had a new waypoint added that was added on the previous watch, which is waypoint 3, which is midway between where we're mapping now and GT1. So I think if you zoom out quite substantially, you should, hopefully. And again? Oh no, zoom out. And again. There it is. You see it? Yep. It was a little bit further zoom. Yeah, so we're gonna
Yeah,
blue water to
that's good.
waypoint 3 and then have a look there, and then it will be blue water to GT1. So if you zoom out again and again, like a couple more clicks.
Okay, Chris, that's about the end of my tether unless we do an Argus spin.
And again, oh yeah, there. So
that's
you
adequate.
see GT1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great, adequate.
Got it.
Adequate. All right, I am stopping the log, and
Okay.
I'm done here.
I'm going to come back
Patch
towards you
test
so we're not
complete.
stretched.
Patch test complete.
Patch has been tested.
Patch has been tested. Great
All
work,
right,
guys. Thank
you guys
you.
can shut Norby off too if you like.
Right now? Really?
Yeah, Norby's done. No more
Norby has
Norby.
worked hard enough for today.
You can turn the Ethernet bottle off too.
Norbid secure. Where's the bottle?
That one, yep.
Okay, for those that are joining us
secure.
from the ISC, so the plan is now that is our multi-beam map complete of the site.
I'm gonna
So
head
we
up a
managed to
little
get
bit.
full coverage over that planned box. We've completed our patch test. And so as far as I understand from the dive plan, we are going to blue water to waypoint 3.
How far is it?
It's 260 meters.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with track lines, you can set the speed.
Okay.
But if it starts getting going too fast, we'll just tell them to slow it down.
Slow down. Is that all right?
That's fine. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, put it in movement. I don't think we're waiting on confirmation correctly. We're ready
No,
to
that's
go.
fine.
Everything up?
Yeah, we're
All
just
right,
going
great.
for it. I was
Let's
just
do
giving them
it.
an update at ISC.
Okay. Look at that IGT cable wiggle. What's the highest, or I guess the shallowest part between me and the waypoint 3? If the shallowest point is where we're at right now, that's totally fine.
What are we at? No, it's not. Might be. It's going over two kind of small ridge-ish features. So one I think peaks at like 2795.
That's deeper than we're currently at.
What is?
I'm wondering if
yeah.
I need to come up
Yeah.
at all.
I'm currently at 2700.
Got it. And
Are you going to be dragging me at some point?
No.
Hopefully not.
I'll lead you the whole way, I think.
Yeah.
For 200 meters, it should be.
yeah, you should
Don't
be
need to do
good.
tow mode or anything. What's our bearing to that target?
Your bearing, Herc's bearing is
You're going to
260.
start pulling me.
Thank you.
Should I head down?
No, you're good. I just wanted to get stretched out, get all lined up, and then we'll head over.
Charge!
Charge! And our final depth is going to be 2,800 or so.
Let me see.
Could you please line me up 260 so I can make sure I'm right in front of you?
Yep. 260.6.
Should be about two. Your final depth will be about 2865.
It rounds up.
Roger.
Sorry.
Okay, so I will, Ben, what I'll do is I'll just stay at this depth.
And then come
We'll
down.
head over there and we'll come down.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
A little more conservative. It might take an extra 5 minutes, but I think that's fine. And here
This
we
is
go.
fun.
All right, so we put in 90.
Is this a good delta depth?
Sure.
Sure.
I might come up to 20.
Okay.
That's fine.
You're going a little slower than I am.
I'm not moving at all.
Is the ship moving yet?
It's just it's moving. You'll just start to see the movement now.
Yeah, ship's been moving for like 2 minutes.
It's been moving for 2 minutes. Where have you
Maybe
been?
a minute.
Where have you been? Turn off that light again.
Yeah.